What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classic Line Blog. You know I want to say God bless America when I'm standing beside the American flag. And I just want you guys to thank you so much for all your well wishes on, I'm telling my birthdays, passings of my family, this channel, buildings, new construction, old construction, rentals. Listen, the best is yet to come. Thank you so much for the 10 years on this channel. And I just want to thank you for all the things that you guys have contributed to my life and that I contribute to yours. And so listen, I hope this year can be even better, and I hope you grab the book, All Roads Lead to Real Estate. We're talking about digital real estate, online to the real dirt in your hand, and we'll have lots of good commentary inside that book to help you navigate. How can you grow in this economy and also grow and play Monopoly in real life for you and your family? You guys, this doesn't have to be the worst time in our economy. It can be one of the best if you make a decision and move forward in your life. This is your girl, Erica. Thank you.
What's good, everybody? Drop your city and state in the chat if you can. Come on through. Trying to my best to get this tinkering right. But anyway, long and the story short, happy 4th of July. Happy 250 years, America. People like my family been here forever, ever. I want to say self-image, money, and outcomes. You want to be right. And because our mind wants to be right, we will go look for more things proving we're right. But before I get into that, again, July, after July, I think is it 8th or 9th? We're basically gone. We're going out of here. We'll be gone for most of the month. We'll be in and out the country. So you'll be seeing pre-recorded stuff. I don't feel no type of way if you're busy, because everybody has the summer to do what they want with their summer. But if you want to catch up before August and the fall hits running fast, Middleman to Million School Group, Land Grab Community, and I think they're smashed together, but I can fix that later. And also, if you want to book a call, you can book it there. Okay, so grab those there. They're in there. If the links don't work, that's okay. It's always going to be in the description and pinned to the top comment after the video renders. Let's get into it. Self-image, money, and outcomes. You want to be right. So what happens is a lot of people kick the can down the road, and we've talked about that multi ways in this channel, right? A lot of your life is decisions, bravery, and courage. A lot of your life. And what happens is you used to be able to, before I get into this first video, you used to be able to kick the can down the road to 60, 70. So then you see people 60, 70 still, being a janitor at the school, moving real slow, mopping. You see them working at Walmart as a greeter because they kick the can down the road. Now, times out of 10, if you ask them, I'm so bored at the house, so I got this job at Lowe's or Walmart or wherever, so I could talk to people. Well, that's two parts. They didn't get their money right. 2, they didn't get their life, community activities, nonprofit stuff to do. So now that they're in their 60s and 70s going to work to find something to do, baby, your shit is out of order. It's out of order. It's out of order. Now, with the way the economy is and the value of the dollar essentially dropping, which is funny because I'm going to talk about that in a second. You can't kick the can down the road to 60, 70, 80. If you make bad choices in your 30s, you homeless next year. You make bad choices in your 40s, you got problems next year. You make bad choices in your 50s, you got a problem at the end of the year. This is why it's almost a rolling joke where you see people use their tax return to get a brand new car, and then by the end of the year, it's gone. They bit off more than they can chew. They thought the money would last longer than it would. And these are all self-image issues, because instead of getting a $3,000 to $6,000 tax return and getting a paid off vehicle or an old Honda, which they still be charging crazy prices, they want to go get a new car. Yeah, I got a job. I got some tax return. Like, baby, you can't afford a new car. Now that's at the low level. We can go higher up. You have people who want to sell their house for full price right now. They telling you the economy is the buyer's market. So here's your choices. You sit in this house and keep sitting on it. 2, you refinance, take this money and go invest it in other things. Or 3, sell for what the price they offer. But a lot of times people, it's how they view themselves, right? Prime example, before I go into the video, a lot of people are not built Ford tough, right? You ever see the commercial Ford tough? Like, a lot of people are not. They look around and they're full of fear. This is why you have so many young men under 30 on the internet talking about women just want money and they do this. Like, sir, you should be working right now. Why are you watching Love Island? Go change some spark plugs. Go to the gym. Go do something. Go be productive. Go get a community around yourself, young man. So then you don't have these fears multiplying, right? Just going 10x in your brain. It's because you lack community. Now, same thing with the young ladies. What is your identity outside of this said boyfriend or this said girlfriend? You shouldn't have to keep restarting your whole life. Yeah, I broke up with him and had to move across town, girl. Had to get a new job. Like, what happened? They did not work on their self-image. They were full of fear. So the outcomes they imagine in their head are these outcomes where bad things happen. They're these outcomes where stuff happens to them. They lose their money. They lose their job. Like all these weird coincidences happen, and it's based off choices. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's go ahead and share some stuff here. Okay. Prime example. There's a couple things I want to go to, but I'm gonna start with this one. Getting close to it. Okay, here we go.
These three people. I feel that.
And they'll employ a quarter of the people. I got you.
Yeah. And so I run into that situation all the time where everyone is not meant to be an entrepreneur. And you're right. I'm only asking for 10%. And if we can't create 10% of our people to create their own businesses, that's a shame, And if anybody push back against that, that's a shame also.
Mm.
That would be 4.3 million businesses. If each one of them hired 3 people, 12.9 million, we just employed 12.9 million of our own people. So how could you deny the numbers when it comes to economics? And so that's why our focus is solely on economics. We're not saying don't get a good education, but we're saying that our focus now should be creating our own business and take a chance. Before you know it, we will have a Facebook, we will have a LinkedIn, a Instagram, Twitter, and all of that. Mark Zuckerberg started out because Peter Thiel invested $500,000,
Mm-hmm.
and now you have Facebook. And no one is running around saying they need to focus on education first. They dropped out of college. I'm not saying drop out of college. I just think our priorities are wrong in the African American community by not focusing on economics. We stay in this loop over and over again.
Yeah. And I do have some pushback. What about the people that say, well, everybody's not meant to be an entrepreneur. Everybody's not meant to have a business. What do you say to those people who tell you that? Because whenever I hear, the number that you said was like 10 million. Yeah, 10, was it 10%?
10%
would be 4 million businesses.
4.3 million.
4.3.
So my pushback would be, okay, well, that's the other 90%. I'm only saying 10%.
So the biggest thing I try to tell people is this is a tap dancing rhetoric that they love giving. Well, everybody can't start a business, Erica. Then they say everybody can't do the military. Everybody can't do that, Erica. Everybody can't be a truck driver. Everybody can't be a hairstylist. Everybody can't be a nurse. Everybody can't trade stocks. Like we let them move the goalposts 90 times instead of saying, I can't see myself doing that. Remember how I did Tech Tuesday for 5 years on here, and every Tuesday I'd bring different guests on, Miss Tamika, everybody, I'd bring them on, and people be in the comments like, am I too old for tech? What do you mean? That's a self-image issue. If I talk about the stock market, I bring, everybody can't trade stocks, Erica, that's gambling. Okay, that's a self-image issue, right? Again, every time I bring on any type of trade on this page, Erica, you always talking about money, blah, blah, blah. Again, y'all can run around in circles and do all this other stuff, but it comes back to money. Why are Black people hollering about freeze the rent? Why are they carrying on? Listen, I'm gonna say this, and feel free to cancel me, feel free to get off. We know what leech society is. We know what parasitic society is, right? Now, what do I mean? When you got the one cousin that made it in the NFL, now everybody want to go to the games for free. We've got family members that work on staff in the NFL, and I don't ask them for free tickets. They give out a certain amount of free tickets at the beginning of the year to the family. And we got cousins like, oh, no, I'm not going to buy no ticket. I'm going to get the free ticket. I'm like, you going to sit in the middle of nowhere? You don't know where you're going to be sitting? You don't know where this ticket about to be? No, I'm good. I'll spend my money, right? I'll pick my seat and spend my money, right? We have people that when somebody wins the lottery, or when somebody starts a business, or when somebody makes a lot of money, they're all for the ride. They want to get on the bus. They never want to come into office and do the work with you. You know, I never get mad when people say she won't in the gym shooting hoops, but she was keeping your house together, won't she? You can't do both. You can't be on the road 99 days of the year and then also keep your house together. That's not how that works. It's just not how it works, right? And so I get real exhausted when anybody Black goes, everybody can't own a home. Everybody can't, baby, shut up. Shut up. That's you. That's a self-image issue. Okay. And you will confirm things in your mind to do so. Again, prime example, I talked to y'all about people moving. I used to joke about it. They're going to have y'all living in Macon. Right? I say that all the time. They're going to have y'all living in Macon. And people get mad. Like, Erica, why you keep saying that about them living in Macon? And I'm like, because they'll keep moving further and further out instead of addressing the problem. I don't make enough. That's all. Or we have people, I remember during the pandemic, you know, the pandemic was stressful. And I would get emails like, hey, I'm a single mom. Can you help me out? And sometimes our staff would like interact. Enrique, God bless him, would be like, oh, you know, what are the name of your children? Like thinking they were young, and we'd send them a book or something, right? And the woman would be like, oh, my son's 20, my daughter's 27. Ma'am, that's no longer your identity. You aren't some single helpless mom that's 17 years old with 2 kids under 5. These are grown adults you're talking about. You're a grown woman that's just not married. What are you talking about? Right? But it's important to realize, how does she see herself? She sees herself this way. So y'all got to be careful when y'all talk to people. What is their normal? What is their baseline? How do they see themselves? It's very important before you start talking to somebody. Y'all know what type of people I'm talking about. You can offer 15 solutions and they got a problem with every one of them. Every one of them. Oh, yeah, I can't do that. Yeah, my knee's bad and my back's bad. You know, I can't drive trucks because of this. You know, I can't do that because you got to stand up and lift your arms over your head. Like, they will come up with every excuse in the book, right? And even if you give them a system, I've told y'all, there are several people, I'm not trying to call out their business. She would have systems for people. She would fly to their office, set up the whole system, and the person would revert back to what was comfortable to them. And it's all a self-identity issue. So right now on this map, you see the top 20 educated cities in America. First thing somebody's going to think is, I'm going to go there so I can get around other people. Again, proximity is what hurts a lot of y'all. Not, be careful about this, not, you know, like that David Williams, I shared his post earlier today, but he had something maybe a couple days ago, but he was saying you think your number one problem is you can't find a man or a woman you like, right? And nothing else matters. Your whole life is, I can't find no women, I can't find no women, I can't find no men. And it's like, that's not your problem. The problem is you're 400 pounds and you're a neck beard. And that goes for women too. Shit, like that's not your problem. Sis, work on thyself. Work on thy self-image. Nothing's worse in my mind from being an adult is meeting adults who like, I would love to go to Europe. I'd love to go to Bali. I'd love to go to Hawaii. And I'd be like, oh, just go. Hey, you know, schedule well, I want to go with somebody. Okay, we'll take some friends. I don't want to take friends. I want to take I want to be in a couple. Oh, okay. So what if you never have somebody to go with? What if you get somebody in a wheelchair? Now you got to figure out how to go to Hawaii in a wheelchair. Like you got to address the self-image problem in the mirror. Okay. You got to address the self-image problem. I told y'all when I went and got my oil change, this young lady's like, it was just my birthday. We're like, where'd you go do for your birthday? I wanted to go to Jamaica, but I was scared. I didn't want to go by myself. Girl, you 30 talking about, girl, Good luck. Okay. So these are these cities. Ann Arbor, 70%. Do anybody want to live in Ann Arbor though? I mean, Ann Arbor's got some nice stuff, but it's Ann Arbor. Okay. So this is ranked by the percentage of residents that are 25 plus with a bachelor's degree or higher. Durham, Chapel Hill, North Carolina. That's a good one. Madison, Wisconsin. Eesh. San Jose, Sunnyvale, California. Washington, Arlington, basically DMV. Everything DMV. Okay. Raleigh, North Carolina. Right. So you could be in the DMV, meet as many people with a degree as you can be in Raleigh. It's Chapel Hill. Right. But no, I'm moving to North Carolina. Ain't nothing but country people down there. Okay. San Francisco, Oakland, Austin, Texas, Round Rock, Georgia, Seattle, Tacoma, Bellevue, Boston, Cambridge. These are college towns, most of them. But anyway, Huntsville, Alabama, Colorado Springs, Provo, Utah. Get away from the Mormons. Stanford, Norwalk, Connecticut, Des Moines, Iowa, Boulder, Colorado. Again, there's a college there. Trenton, Princeton, New Jersey, Lincoln, Nebraska, Portland, Maine. Super cold. And Charlottesville, Virginia. Now, why am I bringing this up? There will be people who will move here. I kid you not. They will move to these cities and say they ain't met nobody. They haven't met one educated brother. They haven't met one educated sister. They haven't met anybody who is just like them. They can't find anyone who's like them. And I get so tired of that. That gets so old. I wish y'all would give it a wrap. Prime example, I'm going to use this example. Can y'all see this? Now, you're going to have black people say, well, I can't find black people to do non-drinking and smoking. And here we are, a black chess club in Brooklyn, New York.
All of my ops say that. Why do they gas me up? Where does it go? My head.
I had turned the music off. You know, they hit me with the copyright strike. Now, why am I showing you this? And this is Saturday from 4 to 7, right? Now let's really go there, because there's gonna be somebody say, I just can't find no black people that's doing sports and this, and every week is something. I can't find any black run clubs. All the black women is 700 pounds. Then you show them 7 black run clubs in Houston, 6 black run clubs in Austin, 10 in Dallas, 10 in Florida, 15 in Atlanta. But yet, again, when it's up here, it's visualization, right? Your brain, you keep playing these tapes in your head, right? That all, I'm gonna go there for a second. All women's is bad. All women's is mean. No women's is nice to me. What are you attracting to yourself? I don't want to go woo on this particular episode, but I really want you to think about it. What are you attracting to yourself? This is why I say, if you're a man and every hour of the day you're arguing online with women, you talking about 50-50. These women don't deserve no dates. And like, I'm actually quite concerned about you. I'm like, brother, I think you need some therapy. I think you need to go talk to your mama and daddy. What happened? Are you mad with them? Right? I say this to women too, because y'all be like, Erica, you give the women a break. I don't give the women a break. You know how many times I get on the phone with women and they start telling me about they can't find no man? I'm like, this phone call is about business and money. Stay focused, sister. And then when they tell me, okay, well, I really want to move to another city, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well then work the system. What is the system? You move to a new city, you try new churches, you go new places, you try new restaurants, you try new coffee shops. That's the plan. The more things you try in the next 2 years, the easier it'll be for you to meet people, do different things, have different experiences. You actually have to start walking into this identity that you claim you want to be. All right? You actually have to start reading the books. You can't just hold them and be in public with a book in your lap, faking it out. Somebody might ask you about it. There are many text mixes, run clubs, reading circles. You literally have to intentionally not be looking. I'm telling you, when you talk to people and they're like, there's nothing to do here. I know what happened. They were living in Cali, Chicago, New York, and they just happened to have to move somewhere because they didn't want to confront that they ain't got no money, right? So they moved to the middle of nowhere, and now they're like, it's too quiet here. I'm broke. I'm bored. And it's like, you are broke and busy in the city. but you were broke. Don't blame that on where you moved to. You're still broke. You just don't have things to distract you now. That's the difference. That's all. That's the difference. Okay. Let me go to, this is another one. You know, when people say, "Oh, here come a busy mom. The kids are falling all out the windows. The kids are running around with their heads cut off." Like when they start giving these sob stories, I'd be like, that sounds like a you issue. That don't sound like kids run, kids play, kids do whatever you allow them to do, but that sounds like a you issue. Prime example. Let's play this woman home management binder.
And it made me feel way more in control because I outsourced all my thinking to that binder. Those 4 things are meals. I stopped deciding dinner every night, built a rotation, and I just follow it. The second thing I track is a weekly plan. Every Sunday, I map out my week, appointments, priorities, and errands. Nothing is sneaking up on me anymore. Number 3 is my cleaning system. Not clean everything, just assign days to assigned zones so everything gets done. Number 4, I track systems. I wrote down how we do everything. So laundry, mornings, bedtime routine. That way I'm not thinking about it every single day. Comment binder and I'll send you the template that I use. When I started running my home like a business, everything changed. I got a binder, started tracking 4 things, and it made me feel way more in control because I outsourced all my thinking to that binder. Those 4 things are meals. I stopped deciding dinner every night, built a rotation, and I just follow it. The second thing I track is a weekly plan. Every Sunday, I map out my week, appointments, priorities, and errands. Nothing is sneaking up on me anymore. Number 3 is my cleaning system. Not clean everything, just assign days to assigned zones so everything gets done. Number 4, I track systems. I wrote down how we do everything.
Okay, now prime example. I'm gonna say something and y'all not gonna like it. There's gonna be men who come home and say, "Oh, I don't know what needs to be clean. Where's the list?" And they be like, "Well, why didn't you write your husband a list?" Baby, he has eyeballs. But what she's doing here with this is, I don't know how to do it. It's in the binder. I don't know what to cook tonight. It's in the binder, right? You just never know. Some people come from families where they allowed them to be underperformers. I come from a family, most of our men are already marinating all the meats for the cookout this weekend. Most of the men are already prepping for the cookout this weekend. I don't know none of the men in our family that ain't prepping. Even my cousin with a little baby dog, he out here. We making sure the dog don't lick none of the meat. But you know what I'm saying? I just want you to understand, like, you have to understand, do you come from a reactive family or a proactive family? No disrespect to y'all, but I can tell from phone calls, from interactions, a lot of y'all come from reactive families. "Oh my God, Erica, something happened. I got to change everything in my life in the next 30 days. I'll be like, "Oh my God. Okay, let's do this phone call." And I'll be on the phone with you, stressed out with you. Because I'll be like, I don't know how y'all living like that. Do you know what I'm saying? And some people may say, well, your way of living is boring because you already have a lot of this stuff pre-scheduled. And the truth is, right now, I'm fighting to even do these shows, these last couple shows, because my brain and my body cut off for July. Like, hey, it's July. We're going to go sit in the mountains. We're going to go be at Yellowstone. We're going to go be in Canada. We're going to go be in Belize. We're going to go be, like, my brain is already there. My suitcase was packed last week. My contacts were ordered. Like everything is already packed up and ready to go. I'm just walking through the process at this point. And that's how your home life should be. People don't want to hear that because they want to be spontaneous. They want a spontaneous girlfriend or husband or wife or whatever. And I'm telling you, okay, good luck with that, because you shouldn't be at 5:30 time I got to go to the grocery store and pick up 2 more items to make dinner. It happens. Does it happen? It happens to me. It happens to lots of people I know. But mostly you should say, hey, this is the rotation. I used to make fun of my mom and my dad for the food rotation when I was a kid. Now as an adult, I'm like, they was right. 1990 moms was like, hey, you getting this hamburger helper, you getting this spaghetti, you getting this meatloaf, you getting this pot roast, you getting maybe some stir-fried chicken dumplings, and it's on rotation. Your daddy gonna grill out, or it's Friday pizza night, whatever, right? It was rotations. Your parents didn't stress themselves out. Like every time I hear stories of Black people talking about, my mama mad I didn't take the chicken out. Your mama playing with you. Because she know damn well if you get off the school bus at 3, You take the chicken out, sit it on the counter for 2 hours. At 5, 6 o'clock, it is not going to be no defrosted unless that baby put it in some water. Your mom should have took that chicken out the freezer and put it in the refrigerator. Okay. And then when you got home and you read the piece of paper, it said take that chicken from the refrigerator, not the freezer, refrigerator, and put it on the counter. That's how I know some of y'all moms was reactive. Yeah, my mom left me notes for what to cook. Our moms didn't do that. My mama never did that. She already had it in the refrigerator defrosting. They were military. Just in case things don't go according to plan, they can't depend on the kids to take stuff out. That's ridiculous. Well, Erica, my mama, God bless her. Your mom probably a wonderful woman. But I'm just telling you, if your mama sitting there talking about you didn't take the chicken out and it's frozen, I can't cook dinner, that doesn't make any sense to me. Because the average kid got home at 3. Your mom got off at 5:30, 6 o'clock. That stuff won't go be defrosted. What is she talking about? When y'all show me that stuff, I'd be like, what are you talking about? Do you cook? Do you know that stuff don't get defrosted in 30 minutes? It don't work like that. Not everything. But this is something could help y'all. She sees herself as an organized, well-run house. This is why you can know, hey, Thursday we're doing this. Wednesday we're doing that. Right now we're doing Mediterranean diet in our house. The food is already there. We've already purchased it. The Greek yogurt's in the refrigerator. 4th of July is just the only day off. That's it. Come on, you already know. Tuesdays we ate hamburger helper with veggies and Jiffy cornbread. It is what it is. But it's about your self-image. Let me go here.
Not gonna be friends with.
This is many of y'all gonna be like, Erica, you too much control. This is too much control. And I'm just gonna be honest with you. If you don't know who your kids' friends are, that's why we see you in court. I didn't know he was hanging out with that crowd of people.
That kid anymore. Because I've been to the juvenile detention centers. You ask them how they ended up in there. Here's how every conversation starts. I once had this friend. Kids do not get confidence or assurance or identity from friends. They get anxiety, comparison, and stress from friends. They only get real identity and unconditional love from home. That's why they don't care what they look like at home. They got spaghetti stains on their shirt, and their socks dirty, and their hair's a mess, because they're at home. They're loved. It's only when they get around friends, I got to wear this, I got to dress like that, I got to have that. And the more friends they have, the more stress they have. We don't let our kids pick their friends. What do you mean? I mean, you're not going to be friends with that kid anymore. Because I've been to the juvenile.
So there's two schools of thought. There's a lot of people saying, well, let the kids be bored. It's okay to let the kids be bored. You ain't got to always plan their day. You ain't got to sit on top of their back. And I just want you to understand, like when people say that to me, I'm just looking at them because it just sounds like, how can I do less? That's all they're trying to tell me. How can I do less? I want to do less. And I'd be like, I hear you. But that's not how that works. As they get older, you only got like when they say you got 18 summers. Now, I'm not going to go as far as say the 18 summers thing. I do believe it. I think you really have like 13 summers before, that's not funny, or this isn't cool anymore, or your aunties, uncles it ain't fun no more. I don't want to go, the pouting. And so you have to be strategic. There's a sweet spot. They say 6 years old to 10. And I would agree. Going to Disneyland, going places is the best. I took some of the teenagers in our family to Disneyland. Let me tell you, them boys had on all black. One had on a hoodie. We had to fight them to take it off. Take it off. Take that mess off. And it was hot outside. And I was like, this is no longer fun, right? They took a lot of pictures. They looked like they had fun, but it wasn't fun for me as the adult. I was like, this sucks, right? And so I want you to understand, like, you get to control the environment for your kid. It's up to you. So whenever people say they're bullying my child at school, they're doing this, they're doing that, I'm like, that's you. That whose job is it to fight that? That's you. That's not my job. That's not the teacher's job. There's only so much y'all be wanting these teachers to be on top of the roof of the building with a sniper. Like, they can't do it all. That's just crazy what y'all be saying. I can't. It's not possible. The teachers can only do so much. And they can't watch 9,000 kids every movement all day through the school. Okay? So just let's stop it. Let's cut it out. Let me go here. You gonna lock it? Thank you. And so let me go here. There's so many things I had to show y'all today, but we're gonna tighten up here. Let's go here. Again, it's all self-image stuff, but let's go here. Oh, let's go here. Now you already know Ryan been dyeing that hair, but the real hair color is starting to come out. It's okay.
I want to get into coaching now. You know, I've done this long enough. I'm tired of dealing with clients. Well, guess what? In coaching, you got to deal with clients too. And you got to deal with people who've usually not had a lot of success. And you got to teach them how to be successful. You got to run events. You got to run ads. It sucks. It's very difficult. You got to pitch all the time. It's a crappy business when you really think about it, just like real estate. And then guess what? I'll get coaching people who are like, Ryan, I want to get into tech because coaching sucks. You just sell over and over again. You get no MRR. You know, if I get into tech, then I'm going to get MRR. Guess what? Tech sucks. You're going to go sell your $100 a month thing after you used to getting high ticket sales. Good luck. You're not going to break even. You're going to lose a bunch of money acquiring customers. And then you're going to learn about churn. You've never even heard of churn. And guess what? Churn is going to happen. Software is getting killed right now with AI. And then you realize like, oh crap, I shouldn't be in tech. You know what I've been missing? Boring businesses. I should be in the trades. I should have local, small, service-based companies. And then you realize, oh crap, I got to deal with contractors. I got to deal with lawsuits and insurances and all this other crap with the local small businesses. What's my point with all this? They all suck. And then you're like, oh, well, okay, AI. If I do AI, then I'm going to win. Guess what? You got billions of dollars to waste on data centers that probably ain't going to amount to much. Good luck, right? Point I'm making is every business sucks. Every industry sucks. They all got their problems. The reality is you just know about your problems in your business because you've been doing it so long. So you get jaded thinking that they're actually worse than they are or that other people don't have the problems that you have. No, everyone's got the same problems. And people don't do this just in business. They do it in their marriage. They do it with all this different stuff. They think the grass is greener because they just are so used to the problems they get, but it's not. So hopefully this is speaking to somebody. Your problems will not get solved by switching industries. In fact, you'll just probably waste a couple of years, then realize, oh crap, yeah, my problems really weren't that bad. I got the same problems over here. I just wasted 2 years to figure that out. So let me save you guys 2 years. Your business sucks. I get it, but switching industries ain't going to solve.
So why is this funny? I like this one because it's the truth. When I tell people, oh, I do YouTube, like consulting, oh man, I'd love to do that. And I go, I'd love to do what you do. And they're like, well, no, what you do is easy. This sounds like easy money. I'm like, you think this sounds like easy money? Talking to strangers off the cuff on the internet, then getting a consult calls with strangers, throwing events, teaching, inviting people. It's a lot of stuff in every industry. Is digital one of the ways people love because it's a little bit easier, less friction, people buy things online? Yeah, of course. That's why they talk about consulting and coaching like that. But at the end of the day, the key to a business, not just a job, a actual business is, does it run without you? Every summer I go away and stuff still happens, sales still happen, people still buy courses, people still buy books, people still buy calls, or they buy them for August. And then I know what happens August 25th. From July 1st to August 20th, I already know what's going down. Right? August 6th, 7th, they're doing Earn Your Leisure, right? Right. They've been doing that past couple of years, but I just already know what's the routine at this point. And I'm not worried about it because I have a system. Same thing, like right now, the only thing that's very dramatically different about my life this year is the franchise we picked up, and we have a project ongoing. And that's the only difference, because guess what? For the service business, we literally have a caller that's in Central North Carolina and a caller that's near Charlotte, and both are remote. Both, I can see all what they do, the CRM, I can see their call, I can see the notes, when they followed up, all that data. I can see all that data. I don't have to sit on top of their back at all, right? There's a company that does our leads. I can see that. They're the place where we put our inventory. At the end of the day, you have a company, you have staff, and we have installers, which are our contractors. God bless us. But at the end of the day, all industries suck. Everything sucks. No matter who you talk to, somebody in construction thinks this sucks. Somebody in new construction thinks this sucks. Somebody in government, contract. Somebody in Section 8. Everybody's industry is going to suck. Well, you know why? Because it's the mindset and the perspective. All right. If I come into something complaining, whining, dragging my feet, it takes a lot to turn that energy around. right? Well, again, that's where we get back to the conversation. What is your baseline? What is your level of normal? Right? Whatever your baseline is, whatever your normal, you will come back down to it. So prime example, when it comes to businesses, I had several people I know was like, Erica, I'm leaving. I go, oh my God, where are you going? I'm going to Venezuela, not Venezuela. I'm going to Colombia. I'm going here. I'm going there. And I'd be like, oh my God, what's wrong? Nothing. I only make 10K a month and it's just not enough, but I'm going to go out of America and it's going to be enough. And I would sit there and go, no, it's not. It's not going to be enough. Right? Now, what happens? If they fall under 10K, my friends would go, gotta hustle, grind to get the number back up. And then they would have a bump up in their income, right? Now, I had friends who got up to 50K a month. And then they would do things that would self-sabotage that business. It was like an emergency came up, their mom asked for money, they bought their mom a car. One person I know bought their mama a house. Then the next year when the business sucked, the bankruptcy people were like, either you sell this house with your mama in it, or you got to go make some more money. And they had to go make more money. Why? Because their normal, their baseline, whenever you get outside of what you visualize for yourself mentally is your baseline, you get out of alignment with who you are. Like, I don't know if y'all can see me in the camera. Let me do it like this. All right. A lot of people think, okay, balance. Enough time on the weekends with my family and children, church, this, everything's super balanced. No, it usually goes out of the way. Right? When people say stay in your lane, that's what I think of. Like if you think of Texas with all the lanes on the highway, when we say stay in your lane, what happens is you starting to slide out of your lane. And that could be in life. That could be in marriage. That could be in fitness. That can be in whatever. And you just start drifting. And that's what I say. I see people just drift away. They talk about in the Bible. They be drifted off from the faith. They just drift off, right? And that's in real life too. People just drift off. They say you don't lose people in marriages in the straightaways. You lose them in the turns. Because you've been just kind of drifted on. And again, a dead fish can float upstream, right? So again, I tell people all the time, you want to be able to say, is this temporary? Is this, am I following the system? What happened? Is it just, do I want to get away from these people? I had a friend join the military. He was in the Marines. He got shot in Iraq, lost a piece of his intestine. Went over, signed up for the army. We're like, what is wrong with you? He was like, this is where I want to be. I want to be where the action at. And so you have to understand, people imagine themselves a certain way. So even if you have a friend who's doing all the systems, all the things, and they make 50K a month, if they don't physically see themselves align with that, that's why you get these business owners out here who just be stuck at 50K forever. Because they haven't visualized what's the next level, what's the next step, or if they have, they're scared. Their nervous system is like, oh, I don't know if you want to go up the next level. So the limit is in their mind. It's not in their pockets, right? What do you like when I talk to people like, how do you see yourself in 5 years? And people usually name all this stuff, but I usually say, well, how do you think you'll feel? I'll be like joy, empowered, fulfilled, well rested. Like, what are some adjectives to describe how you will be in the future? And they don't have any. They just tell me all the stuff they want to get. That's why I keep telling y'all, people can think of a way to spend $1 million, but they can't think of a way to make $1 million because they're so busy thinking about how they're going to spend $1 million. It gets crazy out here. Let me play this for y'all.
Really made me laugh. At 35 million, you can have a financial team, a family office, and a corporate structure. I'm on all this stuff for a living, so let me show you why that number's completely wrong. So a family office isn't just one thing. There's 3 ways to manage serious money. Option 1 is a private bank who give these sorts of services to people for a fixed fee of the assets under management. Option 2 is a multi-family office where multiple wealthy families all pool together and have one office work on behalf of all of them. And then option 3, which is what most people think about when they think family office and what he's referring to in this interview. And that is a single family office where you have a dedicated finance and investment team that works solely on behalf of that family. Now for that, the key thing is that there's a fixed cost. CIO, an analyst, an ops person, in-house counsel. So you need to have a certain amount of assets under management that mean that the option of a private bank or multi-family office is dwarfed by you being able to in-house it. That office costs the same to run whether you've got 30 million or 300 million. It's a fixed cost, right? And a credible one will start at least $1 million a year. So watch what happens at 35 million. That's only 3% off your net worth every single year. And that means that your returns have to beat benchmark by 3% just to stay even. And you're basically going to be paying like 3 or 4 times what the bank would charge to do exactly the same thing. Now run that maths off a family office that's 100 million. Suddenly it's competitive with the bank multifamily office, and the privacy and the control and the deal flow will actually justify that difference in cost. And that's why 35 million will never, ever get you a family office. You could probably afford to do it, but no one in their right mind would ever do it unless they were trying to get clout. I saw this.
Okay. So again, y'all are going to be like, family office. Now I'm can you guys hear me and see me? Drop a 1 in the comments if you can to make sure. Family offices, this dedicated, why do they become popular? Okay. It was an image. These people view themselves as like so forward thinking, and we need to manage and protect our legacy. And that's a good idea. I'm not going to disrespect it. It's good. But here's the thing. It really starts from, you want your accountant, your bookkeeper, and your tax person and your attorneys all on the same page. That's ultimately what it is, right? You want them all on the same page. We're going toward the same goal. We're trying to reduce taxes. We're trying to invest this money well. We're trying to get returns. Is everybody on the same page, right? Your accountant maybe just clocking numbers, don't know what the game plan is. Your tax person may be like, well, I just did the taxes. You didn't tell me what the objective was. Your attorney's like, well, ain't nobody trying to sue you this year. What you want? Nobody's swimming on the same boat or team for you, because they're all running around chasing and trying to get more clients. So this is where the whole family office, I'm going to draw everybody into the office, comes from. But you need to be making a ton of money. Now, I'm going to say this in a respectful way. 35 million isn't a lot depending on the industry. Somebody can be like, oh, I'm going to cuss you out, Erica. What you talking about? Listen, I get it. To make $1 million or $2 million, you're in the top of the top of the top. I'm not taking anything away from people. But the amount of people you'd have to be servicing, which I'm careful how I say that, to make that much money a year, and it don't drop, it keeps going. Usually people have a windfall. Prime example, when I kept showing the office from Austin, the people that have a windfall, this office tells you in the prospectus, we only can get you 7%. They ain't even gonna lie to you. They're like, we can get you 7% returns on your money. Now you're going to say, well, I can just do it myself, and I can put money in this, and I can do that. And I always tell people, I'm like, you could, in theory, do that. You could manage your own money and get better returns. But usually if you're making that much money, you're over here focused on making more, and whatever is the wheelhouse that makes you that money. And then on top of that, your family. Mostly what family offices are, and this is no disrespect, because literally the Sanders kids, Deion Sanders kids, one of them has a foundation. And then there's a couple, like LaMelo Ball has a foundation. A family office and foundations and nonprofits holding and moving your money around, again, CYA, consult your attorney, consult your accountant, are ways for you to tell your family members no. Because if I say 35 million, every cousin in your family think they can get $1,000, yes or no, right? If you start saying y'all made 30 million and y'all got a family office, family members like, there's some money over there. On top of the fact, the family office, when you get a certain level of attention or money, people start sending you things. People start requesting. Some of our office mail is just nonprofits requesting money, and look at our charity. And I'm like, how did you find me? Easy. There's certain things about your companies that are public data. And see how much some of your companies make within a guested range. Melissa data, all kind of stuff. They can pull all kind of data out here. And so the family office is just a way to create a buffer between the owner, who'd probably say yes to every family member, and the greedy family members, right? Like, oh, Miss Becky, I wanted to buy you a Porsche, but I can't. Here's a Toyota Camry and a cheap $200,000 house in the hometown, right? Like, good luck to you. Get out of my face. A lot of times people think, oh, they're charging all these fees. And no, the family office is just somewhere where there's a team of people who support the mission. The mission is the family, right? And if you pay attention, the wealthier families get, they don't always have like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 kids. Sometimes they have 2, 3 kids. And 2, 3 kids is enough people to fight over money. Trust me, how do I know? Passing of my grandpa, passing of several members of family. 2, 3 people is enough to have a knockout, drag out fight over a couple $1 million. It just, and that's on a small scale. We're not even talking about millions where Donald Trump had to fight his siblings to get more of the distribution, right? You got to think. You're like, damn, Donald, you gonna fight your siblings for more money? Yes. People will fight over you when you pass. People will fight over you when you're alive. Okay. So it's self-image matters in this, money, outcomes, all this stuff matters. Let me go here. Whoops.
Right now, one piece of advice, if you want to take your life to an exponentially higher level, this is the one piece of advice that I would give you. Okay. Stop trying to get rid of the self-doubt. So many of you guys think that the answer to making so much more money is becoming fearless, eliminating your doubt. No, you leverage your doubt. I feel doubt every fucking day. I doubt myself all the time. I am terrified all the time. But the difference between me and you is I still do the things that I need to fucking do regardless. People have this whole thing backwards. They tell themselves, I will do that when I feel ready, when I sign more clients, when I make more money, when I do this, whenever Mercury's in fucking Gatorade, that's when you'll do it. And then it never fucking happens. Because in order for you to actually become the person that's required to have the things that you want, you have to do things that you're not ready for. You have to become a person that you're not right now. And the only way that you're going to do that is by doing it fucking scared. The answer to living a life that the 1% of the 1% live has nothing to do with eliminating fear. It has everything to do with you fucking leveraging it. And if you decide fear is no longer going to run your show and you're going to do the thing that you need to do regardless, no matter how fucking scary it is or how big it feels, you will live that life. Or this is the sad reality. This is the truth. You will wake up in 5 years, 10 years, and 20 years from now and think, damn, I really would have became somebody if I just would have fucking did it before I was ready. Damn, I really could have become somebody if I really just did the thing that I wanted to do before it made sense. Damn, I really could have became that bitch, but I fucking let fear run my show. Are you going to let fear dictate what your life looks like? Not me, bitch. That's why I'm rich. June was a $202,000 fucking cash month. And if I had to give you one fucking piece of advice.
Okay, so I've talked to y'all about her before. She cusses a lot. It's her thing. Let her have it. I don't care. And you can see her on here. And people are like, oh, you live in a starter home. Oh, like they give her all this crap. And it's like, if I told y'all how many random white girls make millions of dollars, and you'd be like, God almighty, like you'd be shocked. The stuff, like I wish I could name some names and not be petty, but it'd be petty if I do it. And I remember this girl had a plane. And I was like, wait a minute. This girl got a damn plane? And then I just was like, I started following her. They're like, oh yeah, I made 4 million this year. I'm like, 4 million? And you got a plane? What? It's just a prime example. I'll show this one. This is one I can show. Again, it's all about how you see yourself. Oh, dang it. Sorry. Oh, anyway, long story short, $1 million in a day award. And this is called the Sales Girl Official. They won. The one in the brown hair stepped away. She's going to focus on her family because her father died. And she has a plane. And they were just flying it around Georgia. And I'd be just telling people, like, the limit is in your head. You dress nice, you look good, you put on a nice pair of clothes, you film content. Y'all don't know who's watching y'all. And if I could show you, like when Brandon Turner lost all that money, which again, he's just going to have to go hardcore for the next 3 years and sell stuff. Brandon Turner had over $100 million being thrown at him from Bigger Pockets, the attention off Bigger Pockets. And many of you were like, well, I would do this, I would do that. Brandon Turner needed a council of people to say, yeah, don't do this or do that, or these numbers aren't good. You know what I'm saying? You rise to the level of what you know and how you visualize yourself. When I say let the systems work, I mean let the system work, because it's all the attention you're getting. You're really good at talking to people. You're really good at running this. You're not good at running multiple things. I say this to myself, y'all. I had somebody that was going to be a boss hog for me when the trucking company, and I was going to hire him and have him in there. And I said that was one of my biggest mistakes, is because you can only watch stuff so closely, right? I'm moving to the point where I'm management now. I've done this for years. And now I'm like, okay, I'm good. I don't want to do another phone call. I'll do a couple hours of phone calls this summer because I just know the nature of the one service business we picked up. July, August, September, and I'll even throw October in there. So I have 4 months to make this particular company do $500,000 before the year's over. Now I don't have to do $500,000. That's just our target. Our target's higher than that, but I'll just say for the record, $500,000 on the video. And we have the staff, we have the leads, we have the inventory, we have the installers. There's no reason we're not going to hit the numbers, right? I'm even investing in, oh yeah, I'm gonna get y'all this sales training. I'm gonna pay this stuff. Do I need to? We only got 2 callers right now, but in the future we may have 5 or 6, right? And the goal of it is getting people used to, this is the system. You show up and you just put input in the system and you get output. If you're not making your sales for 2-3 months in a row, well, it might be time for you to find a better job somewhere else. Unless it's November, December, January, and you just aren't getting the calls, or I'm not providing them for you. I can understand all that. Okay. I can understand it. Okay. Let me see if I got my other one. Again, I know people want to fight me tooth and nail about land and buying houses. And again, they ain't making no more land. So boomers who bought land in the red circle at 9% rates 30 years ago are rich now. Millennials who buy land in the circle at 8% will be rich in 30 years. Again, this is Dallas. Let me see if I can make this bigger. This is Dallas, Plano, right? Arlington, all these people who bought years ago, people who bought in 2018 got big money coming in. All this extra, Prosper, McKinney, man, Prosper's a drive. Denton, Greenville, Kaufman, Midlothian, all these places. Weatherford, whoo, is a drive. Granbury, which is further than Weatherford, right here. Granbury's right here is where I wanted to do some investing. We did some projects and sold some land, but that's a whole nother conversation. You have to put your foot somewhere. The reason I say that is because we have friends who bought stuff in Austin, Texas. They originally started in Round Rock. The one guy bought a house in Temple because he was in the military. Then he got out of the military, got a job in Round Rock, bought a house in Round Rock, kept the house in Temple, rented it out. Then was like, man, I'm making so much money between my disability, my job, and this. I'm going to move further into Austin. And now he has 2 rentals. Disability check, Austin, and live in Austin. I mean, again, same thing. This is Chicago. You know, all the people here, grandpa bought all this stuff in South part of Chicago. Naperville, right? People who bought Naperville years ago. Now people that live out here, Crystal Lake, near Woodstock, out here, Plainville, Joliet. Remember Joliet? We had a girl come on. She got a condo for $20K and people like, your mom is rich. And then when they realized she was a black person, then they got even more mad. Why? Because they're in their mind, their self-image of black people or self-image of certain groups of people is low. It is low for themselves. I want y'all to understand the average person y'all run into out here is not well read, doesn't have a ton of confidence, and can be dangerous. Now you're gonna be like, Erica, damn, you describe like a dog or an animal. Yeah, that's people. That's people. People be having on their protective hoodies. That's what my friend who teaches at high school, he calls it self-care hoodies. These kids are cocooning themselves from ridicule with a hoodie on, right? And I'm like, that's crazy, but it's a thing, right? So people out here with their bonnet on, they super bonnet. Don't say nothing to them about their super bonnet. Okay, so people out here dressing however, and they're like, Erica, that's respectability politics. I don't care what you say. If that's how you dress when you come out the house, and that's how I know you feel about yourself, hey, that's all I need to know. Keep moving. Let me go back one. Whoops. This is Houston, Texas. You know, I know people in Baytown, League City, Pearland, Sugarland. In 2008, they came out here. People I knew that came out here in 2008 and lived out here in the Woodlands. And Tom Ball and Katie bought a house for $100K. Now they house up $400K. Yeah, that's only been a couple years. Traffic terrible, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Phoenix. Good luck on that one. San Antonio. San Antonio. Now listen, this all right here, yuck. I will say this. Schwartz over here, Converse, Castroville way over here, where this dry ridge is over here. Pearson, these are actually nice. I will give San Antonio that. Castroville, Pearson, Schwartz, because they did a bunch of new construction. New Braunfels is over here going up towards Austin. This is beautiful. Anybody buying anything from here, Live Oak to New Braunfels, oh my God, you're gonna be so rich in 2 more years. It's ridiculous. But yeah, stuff like that. Again, look at the names. All these Germans that were everywhere. New Berlin, St. Hedwig. The names are crazy. But anyway, keep going. Oh, let's see here. No, that's good enough. Y'all got the gist of it. Where's the other one I had open? Oh, yeah. This is Georgia. Okay. Anybody in Georgia in the house? So I know we got some Georgia people. For the first time in Georgia has become a majority state with non-Hispanic white residents making up less than half of the population. Between 2020 and 2025, 40% of the state's new residents were what? Hispanic, coming in at 33%. Black and Asian were tongue-tied at 22. Well, no, I'm sorry, I'm reading it again. 40% of the state's new residents were Hispanic, 33% were Black. Everybody Black was running Atlanta. 20% Asian, while non-Hispanic white population declined by 25,000 people. Again, outside of Atlanta, the rest of Georgia is rural, y'all. It's not like there's another Atlanta inside Georgia. There's just one Atlanta in Georgia, and it's massive. And if you talk to people, oh, I used to live in Alpharetta, but then all the immigrants came and I moved even further up. They're moving. That's because they want to move. Ain't nobody forcing them out. Okay. Come on. They go where the jobs is. All them Venezuelan people that was escaping across the border, they came to Atlanta. All my Uber drivers for a while were Venezuelan or Cuban in Texas and in Atlanta. Whenever I fly in Atlanta, I'm like, every day, Lord, Cubans, every day. Where y'all? Y'all just got the boats coming across. I just want y'all to understand, like, it changes. But again, if these people don't vote, these people don't buy houses, how much does it change? Right? How much does it really affect? Okay. Let me show you again here. It's just like a 2-minute clip here. Again, people will tell you the dollar's dying, it's going away. I'd be like, what are you talking about? So let me play this.
My mother. She says lols.
What? Oh, like LOL, LOLZ?
Lols, yeah.
Lols?
Instead of lows. She can never get lows.
Oh, lows. I thought you meant
Yeah.
lols.
My
like
mom is
LOLZ.
very bad at knowing names, so she thinks it's lols. Anyway.
All right. So Lols says
Fair
that their core customer is a homeowner with an average household income north of $100,000. They have gainful employment. They receive wage increases. They have record equity in their home. They have money in the bank. Overall, we describe it as a consumer with a really strong personal balance sheet, and this consumer is resilient.
Yep. You could say that every year for the last 5 years. It's funny. The word gainful. Sorry to keep picking nits here. That's a word you only hear for employment, in front of employment. You never use the word
Correct.
gainful for anything else besides you're gainfully employed.
Correct.
All right. The next thing here, you and I both put this in the doc. And so I must
This
have
one
matched them
kind of
together.
viral.
Yes, this was a viral thread by, I think, Matt LeBlanc's brother, Brian LeBlanc, from PNC. He
Wait,
says,
who's Matt LeBlanc? Was that an actor?
Yeah, he's from Friends.
Of course, duh.
So he's from
Joey.
PNC, and he says they track the debit and credit spending trends of 4 million households. And he says, long story short, lower income spending balance sheets trends have been on a tear in 2026. This is a
narrative
total
violation.
narrative buster.
Yeah.
Why don't you go through some of these?
Okay, so he breaks out the lower income, middle income, and upper income, the year-over-year change in card spending, ex gasoline. Right. So, is there some inflation stuff going on in here? Of course, there is. But the shape of the lines is what's interesting, because upper and middle income is dipping a little bit, and lower income is straight up and to the right.
And it had dipped for years heading into like 2025, and now it's gone vertical.
So he plots the gap between the upper income and the lower income, and that peaked in what, 2025 or so, and it's gone, it's collapsed pretty dramatically from 4.5% spread down to 1.5%. He said, "Where does this leave us? I'm encouraged by it. Bigger tax refunds, lower withholding taxes, improving job growth, and people monetizing wealth gains by bringing more cash into their checking accounts from their brokerages have been more than enough to keep spending stable in 2026.
I gotta be honest. The data he provided here.
Why did I share that part? I mean, there's another part I got to share too, but I shared that because if you hear people out here, oh, there's no money, everybody's broke, everybody's
dipping a little.
struggling, everybody's heads are coming off their body, and I'd be like, no, that's not what's happening. My head's not coming off my body. Is your head coming off your body? I don't think so. People will really paint you a picture of there's literally Mad Max Thunderdome outside. No, it's not. It's not. It's not Mad Max Thunderdome right now. It's not the Badlands yet. I think people crack me up with that, but I'm gonna play this other segment too. Sorry. Georgia's a huge chicken distribution state. Who you think work at them chicken plants? Brothers named Jerome that drive the forklift and Hispanic men. That's basically who at the factory. Thank you, Ray Gunn, for super chat to the channel. All right, let me play this part too. I just want to go over this.
Are these hyperscalers going to rug the entire stock market? I don't think so.
I don't either. I'm just saying it could happen. I don't know.
Anything could happen.
Right. Okay. So remember the whole debasement idea and the end of the dollar? We talked about this Bloomberg story a little bit with Alex Morris. He's from FM Investments, going to come on soon. But Michael Semblis on his latest piece had all these charts. And it's funny because people keep saying that the dollar's ending and no one wants to invest in the US anymore. And he's saying, look at all the government debt data. Places like China are worse than us. So if you think that the dollar is going away, give me something that's going to step in. Guess what? It's not crypto. It's not the renminbi. It's not one of these other currencies. What else is going to replace the dollar if the dollar is going to fall from its status? Reserve status.
Well, that's the thing.
There's nothing. There's no replacement. He says it's 89% of FX transaction volume right now. 89%. You may have your problems with the debt and the deficits in this country. I get it. It's just as bad everywhere else. That's the problem.
Yeah,
the governments around the world are like the hyperscalers. They all went in this together this decade. Everyone increased their debt by an insane amount.
This was the mic drop. This piece.
Right? Sorry,
Yeah.
it's not happening. You can scare people with all your debasement stuff and dollars and deficits and this is the end of the world and Rome is falling. It's a great story. It's not happening. Sorry.
I really have to keep sharing different points of view of people saying, you guys are making this up. You're over dramatic. You're overly, the dollar's crashing. You know, you see the BRICS. The BRICS has been around for 30 plus years. If it actually more than that. It's just other countries outside the United States. America is one of the best games in town. If you're in America not doing well and you think you're going to go to Bali and do well, you think you're going to go to Thailand and do well, you think you're going to go to Venezuela and do well, I'm talking about do well without having a job in America, without getting any of your money from America. See, these people are always talking about they're going overseas because they got little $500 to $1,000 coming in their account every month and they're going to make it stretch. So they in another country, 2 minutes from a disaster, one of them little moped bikes run their damn leg over. They at the doctor's office can't get no service. That's crazy. You can't make it here, baby. And this ain't even New York. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about anywhere in America. You can't make it here. Where do you think you're going with that? I'm talking about no American dollars in your pocket, no real skills. What other country are you going to go in and chill at? Again, what happened to all the DACA dreamers, right, that Obama had? A lot of them are like, well, I'm tired of waiting. I don't want to be deported. I'm going to go to another country. Other countries start saying, what skills do you have? And they show countless videos of people going to nursing school, finally going to college, on the DACA, going to get a degree because they couldn't just go up and go to another country. You know why? Because other countries didn't want them either. You want to come to my country and you don't have no degree? You're not useful. You come here to sponge? No. This is the Lulu. This is why self-image and money and outcomes matter. Because the stuff y'all be hearing people say, you be like, did you Google that? Yeah, the dollar, man, it's all going to hell, man. I'm just got me a bunch of gold and silver. I'd be like, or people say, well, it's all going to go down anyway in a couple years. Or people like, well, I don't want to get in trucking because it's going to be AI anyway. They're already showing you the AI stuff is not working like y'all think it is. It's not going the way it's planned. But you, instead of you spending your 5 years being fruitful and multiplying and being disciplined and doing stuff, have chosen to have a sad, pitiful existence. And that's how you view yourself. Because everything else is excuses. Everything else. If two people, if you give me a piece of chalk, you give Ray Gunn a piece of chalk, and we got to draw a horse on the sidewalk, hey, man, Ray Gunn going to lose. Because I'm going to be crazy with the chalk. Okay, I'm going to be crazy with it. Any opportunity. Now, if you take us to the basketball court and they like, hey, we're going to give Ray Gunn this basketball. Hey, Ray Gunn got it. Ray Gunn got it. He's 6'97". You know what I'm saying? He got it. I'm going to let him have it. So you got to understand, like, there's so many lanes in America to win in. To act like, oh, I can't win it all in any lane here. That's insane. That's insane. Let me play this clip for you. Just the first minute of this.
At 29 years old, Angel Gonzalez is building in an industry dominated by old dogs, older players, gatekeepers, some may call them. We're going to be talking about money. We're going to be talking about real estate. We're going to be talking about construction, development, culture, and why the next generation of Mexican Americans may build more wealth than any generation before. With that being said, got a very special guest in the studio today, Mr. Angel Gonzalez. Welcome back to Phoenix. Welcome back to the show, brother.
Thank you, brother. It's a pleasure, man. Appreciate it.
Been looking forward to this, man. I'm so glad that,
Same here.
you made the stop here on your way to Cali. That's going to be fun.
Yes, sir.
Right? Bunch of 50 Mexican American business owners
Pushing 50.
in a mansion, right? Bel Air.
It's going to be fun.
Oh my goodness,
Will
dude.
Smith ain't the only one to get to Bel Air.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun, and there's a reason why we spend the $20,000-$30,000 on renting these houses for our community, right? It's what's funny, dude, is it's actually a fulfillment event. Like,
right,
the people that come to the mansion, 90% of them, or actually 95% of them, they already paid for a membership. You know what I mean?
Of course.
It's something, it's just an experience that we like to provide.
That's right.
For our people. And we're going to continue to do our best to continue to improve the experience in our empresarios community. But enough of that. I'm just excited you're in the studio, bro.
Oh,
and
thank you, man. It's a
I'm
pleasure.
so excited to see how much growth, so many things have changed in your life since the last time you were in the studio.
I think so. Yeah, man. Believe it or not. Yeah.
You have reduced a business partner.
Yeah.
You've done a great job, growing your personal brand.
Thank you, man.
Dude, and I've known you for a very long time, bro. I've known you. I remember the first time I
Long story short, he killing it. I showed y'all his videos multiple times. Prime example, same one here with this one.
What's up, guys? My name is Ronnie B.
Ronnie Buchica, he's over here.
Ronnie. Welcome to a day in the life of an agency owner doing 80 grand a month with a team volume of about 700K a month.
He was the number 2 guy, number 2 rookie.
I just want to show you. This is what's going on right now.
In our whole entire company. So this
Look at the headsets. We make a joke about the truckers with the headsets. These dudes got on the headsets. They're moving around the office. They're selling insurance. I keep telling y'all, sales is the one place where it's like, what can I do, Erica? I don't know baby, sales. There's always a sales job hired. You can always improve in sales. You can always learn and unlearn in sales. You will go become the force of average, right? What is your baseline? What if you can't grind on the weekends? What if you can't do extra work? How do we raise up your level? How do we get your imagination moving? There's no limits in your mind. Okay? I just want you to understand what's happening out here. They tell you young people can't find no jobs. These people got jobs. You're not scoring. I'm not scoring. Ray Guns. What's funny is I played horse with some nephews, and I threw the ball overarm hook. I told y'all this story already. And I just was playing, and it actually went in, and none of the kids could mimic it. I was like, it's because I'm the best. And boy, they hated me for the rest of the day. I was like, they're like, well, you got lucky. I'm like, it ain't no lucky shots. Y'all just all shorter than me. So it worked. Sales will always be where it's at, baby. Sales will always be where it's at. Okay, let me see. Let me finish some of this. Okay, I got this one. This one right here. I was gonna do a hate on the boomer show, but I said not today. We're gonna save the boomer hate for another day.
Next time a boomer tries to brag to you about their house, their boat, their car, any one of their toys, ask them how their grandson is doing. It shuts them down every time because they either have no idea because they don't talk to him, or they know that their grandson is living with 5 roommates and on their 3rd round of interviews for a job that pays $40K a year while they live in luxury. Next time a boomer tries to brag to you about their house, their
Why do I want to go there with boomers, but again, if you're a boomer and you have a lot of money and rental properties and extra all this stuff, and your grandchildren aren't doing well, outside of laziness, again, there are some lazy grandkids. I'm not gonna blame everything on y'all. Outside of laziness, why don't you have a job for them? Why don't you have an opportunity for them? Why don't you have, like right now, one of our neighbors, his son, I mean, just gonna go there. His son came out of drug rehab. He had a pickup truck, and his dad bought him a trailer with some lawn care equipment and just put him on to work. Put him on to work. And, you know, he looked so happy. You know, we saw him, hey, how's everything going? Yeah, I got a bunch of lawns now. You're telling me you don't have nothing for your grandchildren. You don't have $1. Okay, cool. I'm just always asking, like, you sure? You ain't got nothing for the grandkids. And the problem is a lot of people, if you confront them on this, if you confront them like, try to be nice. I made it. I studied. I worked hard. I did, you know what I mean? Like they give you some story. Why don't this white man make his own opportunity? I keep telling y'all, like when you really pull back the data, a lot of these people are not doing well. They got lucky with 1 or 2 credit cards. They sporadically pay for the concerts, the movies, the whatever, but they don't have real money. They don't have real money. I keep telling people all the time, they don't have real money. And you're gonna have to learn that. They don't have real money. They out here struggling. Let me play this for you real quick. Hold on real quick. And I gotta do something with that door. Because the man's at the door with the delivery package. Hold on here. Let me play that real quick for y'all. I'll be right back.
I just talked to this guy and he told me he wants to list his house for $650,000. So I run a comprehensive report on everything that's sold in the neighborhood. And I let him know that everything that I'm seeing that has sold between $450,000 and $550,000. And I sent him over the report and he gets pissed.
Welcome back to Edwards Economics. My name's Kaylin, and the housing crash that everybody has been waiting for since 2020 is finally showing up. But it doesn't look the way that anybody predicted. Nobody is getting foreclosed on in the street. Instead, the market is doing something a little stranger. It's freezing solid from both ends at the exact same time. Buyers cannot afford to buy, so sellers are yanking their homes off the market at the fastest pace since the pandemic. And the ones who stay are cutting the prices. So you've got delistings and price cuts happening at the very same time, which is not supposed to happen. The question is, if you've been waiting for the housing market to make sense again so you can finally buy, is this your moment or is this a trap? Let's find out.
My mortgage on my starter home is $4,845 every single month here.
Pause. So her starter home is $4,845 a month. Now immediately he started doing the math. Okay, well, and she says like it's 20% of her income, yada yada. So you have $300,000 a year, and you want me to feel bad that you bought a $700,000 house? That is not a starter home. A starter home is $300K and under. Well, Erica, what if they live in? I'm just telling you, a starter home is not $700,000.
In Columbus, Ohio,
and she's in Columbus, Ohio. So again, anybody in here from Ohio? Anybody in here from Columbus, Ohio, or near Ohio, or know where Columbus, Ohio is? $700,000 house in Columbus, Ohio is a mansion. No disrespect to Ohio, but anybody in Ohio, don't make me be out here talking bad about Ohio, because I can pull up realtor.com or Zillow. Okay. In Columbus, Ohio. Let me pull it. I'm gonna let her talk, and I'm gonna pull up Columbus, Ohio, so y'all can see what I'm talking about.
And
on the starter home? What? Where she starting a mansion? There ain't no way. There ain't no way she's paying $5,000 a month for the mortgage alone on a starter home. Did we just redefine what a starter home actually is in 2026? Where are you starting? At the end? Like what?
One of the things that I think is so frustrating for me is when I talk to people who like bought homes in like 2015, 2014, or people who are like older than me, I'm 28, or people who are in their like late 30s, early 40s. And it's just like, you guys really don't understand how unaffordable housing has become. Like, my house years before I bought it was a $300,000 house, and it still is a $300,000 house because there were no updates made to the home whatsoever. It had all of the original things in it, and it was so outdated. And it's just one of the things that I feel like is really frustrating for me to look around and see. I have an income where my base salary is well over $300,000 annually, and still having a
What are we talking about? You're good. You're good. You're good. She lost me with that. You can afford this.
$1,000 mortgage every single month is insane. Like, it is so much freaking money. I don't know how people my age, I don't know how this generation is going to be able to save, because childcare and food and gas and everything and electricity, everything is so expensive right now. So how are you even supposed to save to get the down payment? But even if you get the down payment, who can afford these?
I get what she's saying, but like, this is less than 20% of her income. Pookie. You're good. Like, you should have just kept this off the internet. No, what did the comments say? I gotta read these comments. There we go. They never fail. $300,000 a year and struggling is crazy work, Mr. D. 300K. No, there's not a
Okay, I had to pause, and I'm gonna pull it up. No disrespect to Columbus, Ohio. We just got to go there for a second. Columbus, Ohio. This is a $700,000 house. This is a starter home. 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. Girl, stop. This is 700,000. And it's struggling to find other. It had to move around to find me $700,000 houses. The filter had to move around. This is in Hillard, Ohio, which is a suburb of there. This is a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath. Ma'am, it's the starter home because it's the first home you bought. But $700,000 buys you a duplex, a fourplex in Columbus, Ohio. It buys you this. It buys you little baby mansions in Columbus, Ohio. What are you talking about? What are you talking? You can buy buildings in Ohio for this. Yeah, I don't know how people living like this. Ma'am, get off the internet. This is why I tell y'all, everybody wants to be a part of the struggle conversation. Oh, they want to struggle so bad. They want to be, oh, I'm struggling, man. I'm struggling, man. It's hard out here. I remember when I was working 3 jobs and I was sitting with a group of people and and I was like, I'm just so tired and I'm gonna take some supplements. And they were like, yeah, us too. Bitch, stop. You work from home in your pajamas before 2020. Shut your damn mouth. This was like 2017 when this was going on. I was like, if you don't shut your mouth, people want to have that again. And I'm gonna say this. One of my male friends said this. He was at church and every guy was like, oh, it's just so hard out here dating. And he was like, what's hard? And he said he never did that again because so many men were like against him at that point. But it's like people just want to be in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Is that in Columbus, Ohio? She can go get a $50K house. Be a starter house. Girl, if you don't get your ass out of here. That's her forever home. I'm telling you, like, girl, please, Cincinnati. Okay, for a basic house. Even with the worst credit. Like, I don't know what her credit was. Do you know what I'm saying? Zillow. Come on. 300,000. Again, ma'am, now you're bragging. In Georgia and Alabama, those houses are 300,000. That's true, but she ain't in there. She ain't living in Atlanta. She live in Columbus, Ohio, so she got to work where she at. A starter home in Ohio is a bungalow. I'm a Clevelander. If you can't live off $25K a month in Ohio, there's a problem, man. There's some crack or some drugs. She out here humble bragging. That's what it was. I really think she out here humble bragging. She just want to talk shit. She want to come online and feel like the other young people. Yeah, I'm gonna talk some shit about how I make $300,000 a year. Crazy. Again, here we go. One more time. Self-image, okay? Self-image is important. What you look at, what you see.
Hi, Homeworthy. Angel Massey here. Summer is in full swing at our Colorado ranch, and what that means is it's time to celebrate. We're going to throw a little barbecue here at the ranch today, and that means that we have to head over to our local ranch to pick up everything we need. After we do that, we're going to come on back to the house, and I'm going to talk to you about the art of creating a beautiful tablescape, not only to honor your guests, but to honor the occasion. Nothing could stop me from making these really cute little representations of fireworks. We're going to talk about how we celebrate here in the summertime, whether that's July 4th or Juneteenth. And then we're going to go into the kitchen with Chef Bobby Massey. You know, he just graduated culinary school, and we're going to talk about the menu today. We're going to have some steaks.
We got some beautiful ribeye steaks from NK Ranch that we just picked up.
We're going to have some Maryland crab cake because, you know, summertime means crabs when you're from Maryland. We're just going to have a really good time. So come along with me. I'm ready to talk about the art of celebration.
Okay, why did I have to show y'all that? I have to show y'all stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like if you let people play you out here, oh, all the blacks are doing bad. They just do crime and criminality. They're the usual suspects. It's just so dangerous, Erica. And I'd be like, I need y'all to move around. I need y'all to travel. I need you to take a dopamine detox from these internets. Do you know what I'm saying? Like when I go to Yellowstone every year and we go to Idaho in this one part of this one town we go to, I bring my laptop, but I don't even use it. I be just gone, bored, reading books. This year we got to fight the ticks. You know what I'm saying? Bill Gates done put them ticks out there, so we got to fight them ticks. But I just want you to understand, like, y'all overcomplicating the game. Relax. Here's another one. Y'all keep saying, yeah, these Hispanics taking our jobs and doing that. Are they? Are they? Let's play this.
Next gen air conditioning, we went from $0 to $108 million. Most of these contractors don't have the confidence to charge enough. They price themselves based on their competition instead of pricing themselves based on data. The home service industry in general, it's 100% people driven. You got to make it obtainable for them to make a ton of money. Everything's a competition. The way you're compensating your employees is what's going to dictate if they're building it or if they're trashing it. If you've been stuck below $2 million for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, it's your people. It's your people. You're one hire away from 5 mil. You're a couple hires away from 10 mil. You need to learn how to manage those people, how to keep them. The people are the most important part inside the operation.
All right, guys. Today, I got Ismail J. Valdez in the building. What's up, Ismail?
Bro, thank you.
Now you go check out him on your own. Long story short, they get mad at him because he'd be like, stop with all the concierge. Y'all ain't got no money. Stop borrowing money to go to the World Ticket Games. Somebody done borrow some money from him. He mad to go to the World Series games. I just want you to understand, this man's not sold not one, but two companies. And he's on his third. He's going to build that up to 100 million. Why? Because nobody puts a non-compete clause in their contract with him. He talks about SoCal, which San Diego, San Clemente, what's the name of that? Camp Pendleton. He talks about how they make literally, there's 24 million residents, or not 24 million. How many? I think it's a high number of millions of people that live in that part of California. So he's like, if your service business is struggling, why? You have plenty of people to work with. What competition? You can go as big as you want. And if you tell people that, then they get frustrated. All right. Exactly. And and nobody writes in the contract, don't do this no more. He just goes on and builds the next thing. Right. And so I just want you to understand, like, the tide is turning for the Latino folks. Now, 92% of all Mexican Americans business and construction, they don't go over $2 million. So their whole angle is, instead of like letting Greg Cardone tell us how to build something, we can tell ourselves. We can tell ourselves how to build this stuff. Why are we waiting on him to tell us when they actually work in those fields and they know? Let me play this. Let me show you this clip right here. Come on. And people in the comments like, well, give men something to fight for. Give them something to do. People like, I have 12 years experience at $20 an hour. They tell you the craziest stuff. And I'll be like, if you, in other countries, they would beat you. In other countries, you couldn't live at the house with them. In Latino America, listen, in Africa, oh my God, they beating people still and stuff. You could only do this in America, y'all. In Italy, you be living with your parents, right? Again, 1 in 3 American men are not working or looking for a job. Who gonna be the boys? Okay, I'm just trying to figure out, are we supposed to be the women and the boys? What's going on? And I say it's low T. Construction employment steadily growing. Medium pay for construction is 100K a year. Construction managers. I just finished taking a construction management class I had to do for an update for my year, and it was all men in there. I'm talking about young men, old men. It was all men in there and 2 ladies, me and 2 ladies. And all the men were like, yeah, I had to switch over to construction because my office job. I'm like, brother, hush. We all in this class. You can't impress me with your old job. What are you doing right now? Construction. Okay, then. All right. Well, that's what we doing. Why are you talking about your old job? I don't care about your old job. Again, they're going to have more construction manager, architects, civil engineers. Most people don't want to do this. One of the construction classes I'm in, certificate, it was 6 classes. That was it. I'm not saying everybody got to be an electrician, an engineer, all this other stuff. But again, all these are growing. The government tell you they don't even got enough people to build what they want to build. And dog, you already know, like, who, again, let's do the reverse. Would you want a woman living at her parents' house, out of shape, not nice, Cheeto stains on her shirt, no job prospects, and sad about it? You would not. You would not. I mean, again, just describe it out loud. You would not. That's why when they be like, man, you guys are real cocky. Yeah, if you actually create something out here and you make good money, yeah, you're cocky. Because there's so many, the bar is in hell. Some of these people is lazy. No, Erica, don't call people lazy. Don't call people names. People get real mad at me on this channel. Y'all be sending me all kind of messages. I don't care. Like, let me go and play this. Let me get out of here.
High income and high status in the long run. If you're new here, this is the status income matrix.
Let's pause it. Everybody look at the screen. Low status, low income. It's fast food, cashiers, blue collar, high status, content creators, solo entrepreneurs, high status, high income, doctors, lawyers, engineers, bankers, high status, low income, teachers, journalists, artists, nonprofit workers. You know how many people used to try to brag about they work at a nonprofit and they're a journalist? I'd be like, okay. All right. Have a great day.
Of work, how much society respects you versus how much you are paid. Most of the time, status and income are linked, like in investment banking where I used to work, but there are also low status, high income fields like being a solopreneur, certain blue collar jobs, and being a content creator, which is what I am now. The secret about this quadrant is that it is not permanent. It's low status because there are not many people in it, so that's why it's low competition. The best example is if you were buying Bitcoin in 2013 or creating content in 2019. People think you're dumb or crazy, thus low status, but eventually you make so much money that you are high status. Sam Altman says the same thing in an essay he wrote in 2020. You should trade being short-term low status for being long-term high status, which most people seem unwilling to do. A common way this happens is by eventually being right about an important but deeply non-consensus bet. In other words, you have to believe that whatever you do will become high status once you are proven right. If you want to do that in 2016, these are some of my favorite low status, high income bets. Now go make some low status money. Being low status in the short run is the best way to become high.
I've told y'all these stories where I was on a plane, and again, y'all can go look at her. This is Hannah. She talked about career, money. Y'all send me some good stuff. I ain't gonna lie, y'all send me some stuff, some pretty decent stuff. It's nice. I try to explain to y'all, you don't have to go crazy, right? You don't have to make $100 million business. Right now, you could have 2 rentals that pay good money, and I say 2 multifamily, like 2 duplexes, 2 fourplexes. You could do 1 project a year, 1 build a year, 1 luxury build house a year and sell it. You could do random little things, and just doing 1 or 2 of those things, you'll be making $400,000, $500,000 a year. Now you go, no, Erica, no, that's because you lived in Austin. You have a skewed view of blah, blah, blah. Yes, I may have a skewed view, but majority of the people I'm meeting or people that are like, oh, I'm going back to California, or I'm going back to Chicago, or I'm going back to Michigan, it's because they bought a couple rentals or they have some project after hours that made them money. Two of the women that I really admired that one had a baby at 45, and she said that was an accident, but she literally flips land in Texas. I go to her house. She's got a whole little office. It's nice. She's on an award. She's got the pool. She's got all the stuff. And really her biggest part of her life is scheduling her day that she'll do a few hours of calls. Her staff is working deals when she's not working them. And then she's chilling with her kids because she's 50 something and her kids are little and it wears her out. The day nanny only comes for a few hours a day. I don't think y'all understand, like, the bar is so low that if once you get past 120, 130, 150, it's all kind of your spending and taxes. Taxes is where the bucket leaks the most, but it's up to you. Same thing with these service businesses. You're really just following a template. Many people, I'm going to do this new thing, this different thing, this. Yeah. Baby, it's all template. Do you have a nice girl answering the phones? Did the nice, clean service tech person come out? Or were they covered in dirt and looked terrible and I didn't want them in my house, right? This one guy was talking about how his company, if you get a review, and they have the Zappy cards that we talk about in Middleman to Millions, you'll get an extra $50. And he's like, you'd be amazed how beautiful the reviews are when the workers are incentivized, right? Like $50, man, and you don't think 50 is a lot, right? But you got to realize there are people. The other day I went to the gas station and a guy, essentially he swiped his card. He didn't have enough money. And there was all a bunch of construction guys. And he was the last guy. When your money kind of funny and you let all the other people in front of you go first and then you go, and that card didn't swipe. So he pushed his sandwich back across the counter. I was like, yeah, I got it. Cool, whatever. And he looked at me like, what? And I just went ahead and grabbed my card and swiped. And the lady was like, oh, that's so nice of you. And I was like, man, go ahead and have that shit. Now, I didn't notice he had a Black and Mal up there, but he did. But this only happens when I'm going to the gas stations that there's a nice gas station I like going to. It's fancy, it's clean, it's nice. It's small. It's only got two sets of pumps. It's not many people bother it. But if I have to go to other gas stations because I'm doing too much driving, I'd be like, it is a struggle out here. Y'all putting $5 in gas in your tanks. You coming to the counter with no money. You got all kind of drama going on. Hear them get in and out these stores. And so I'm pretty sure gas station clerks have seen everything. But at the end of the day, right, a lot of people are not planning ahead. They're super frustrated. And the bar is very low. So, when you see these people and you're like, oh, it's easy for you to say because you have camera or this or that, or you've done A, B, and C. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not easy. They just made a choice. They had courage. They had bravery. They put an hour in a night and kept it moving until it was done. Simple as that. A lot of people get real mad. They're like, oh, no, Erica, no. Like, go look at her page. I mean, again, people be in the comments going at her. Yes, Ashley, it is still available for replay. And some people send me email. How can I get the contact information of the people who I did the group home show in? You get it from if you bought the class, if you bought the video, the training, the 3-hour training, then you'll have a link that access to them. But if you try to get their consulting link and you're like, I want to talk to them right now, you didn't watch the video. We've answered like 3 hours in-depth, deep conversation on group homes. Like, we can save you the headache if you just watch the training. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's still available. And the link will be posted all of July while I'm gone. The staff will immediately know once you purchase to just send the video to you. So there's a whole TikTok community of women of all races who are in blue collar. Exactly. Service business is where it's at. Oh, for sure. No problem. No, I know people come in and out of the channel and then they'll come back months later and they'll be like, oh, Erica, do you still have this? Are you still selling that? I'll be like, yeah, like all these things will be for sale. Like, they're just digital assets. Like, we can sell them any day, anytime. We don't have to hold them hostage or anything like that. Let me see here. Did I play all of it? I did. Okay, one more.
for $650,000. So I run a comprehensive report on everything that's sold in the neighborhood, and I let him know that everything that I'm seeing that has sold between $450,000 and $550,000. And I send him over the report, and he gets pissed, and he goes, "Wow, you couldn't even get my next door neighbor's house in here. That sold for $670,000." I look up his next door neighbor's house. That sold 2.5 years ago. I'm like, "Sir, I see that your next door neighbor's house sold for $670,000 back in early 24. We're in 2026 now. That is not a comp. The data is telling you that everything in your neighborhood is selling between $450,000 and $550,000. And everything that happened 2+ years ago is going to be completely irrelevant into what you can sell it for today." Needless to say,
Things change. Things change. When I was in real estate, same thing. I think that realtors, I was just more cutthroat. It's like, look, this is what you can sell it for today. If you want to take that, cool. If you don't, just stay in the house because you're not going nowhere. Ain't nothing going to change based off of your feelings. This is just the way that it is. I hate wasting breath. Not anybody getting mad at each other, but just like the market decides. Your house is worth what people are willing to pay for it. If you can get a sucker, then maybe like, okay, yeah, we can list it, but it's going to be up for 6 months. It might be up for 2 years until you get the price that you want. If you have the time to wait it out, then wait it out. But if not, then stay put. If it's not imperative that you don't, just stay in the house because you're not going nowhere. Ain't nothing going to change based off of your feelings. This is just the way that it is. I hate.
Okay. I just want to play that part because I want to tell you, if you talk to somebody and they've got a $600,000, $700,000 house and they, I got to sell. And they're just like sweating bullets. That means they tried every other avenue and they can't get it done. Everybody I know right now, regardless of interest rates, are doing cash out refinances. Erica, no, the interest rates are terrible. Listen, the last 4 people I ended up having conversations with, because I was like, what bank you using? What bank you using? What bank you using? What bank? We did the whole, okay, I'm using this bank and that. We did the whole, that kind of phone call. Every single one of them refinanced. They were like, I don't care. One of them had an interest rate of 6, another had 7. One guy said he had a 9.7. Crazy interest rates, terrible. And I was like, oh, are you worried about that? None of them were worried about it. You know why? Because they were taking the money to put it into something else. They were taking the money to flip it some more. And money keeps moving. Money is an energy. Energy keeps moving. It doesn't just disappear. If someone's in a house, they're acting all pent up and, oh my God, you got to ask some questions. Like, hey, what's going on with you? Why aren't you in a position that this makes sense? Why aren't you able to A, B, C, D, F, G, right? Like you got to figure out in that conversation, what is this person saying to you? I couldn't think of a better way to get the money out this house. That's all they're saying to you. Or I don't qualify. I don't, something's up that they can't figure out a way to get the money out the house. That's what I be telling people. I was like, none of that makes any sense when y'all be telling us stuff sometimes. You couldn't get the money out? Okay. Just, go ahead and tell me that. That makes more sense. I'm going to play these last 2 clips. I'm going to get on out here. Again, Mindset, Beyond Win was in prison, came out of prison. Super cool guy. Great information. If you want to flip houses in Cleveland, Ohio, go check him out.
100K at all times or 200K at all times, you have to decide what that number is going to be. And then you start again, you hold 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4, but you have to decide, okay, are you comfortable with $250,000 liquid at all times, right? But it's going to continue to grow anyway, because you're not going to stop doing whatever it took or whatever you did to get to the 250. You're going to continue the same thing. The whole point is just not exhausting all your funds into rental properties. What most people are talking about on the social media, like with rental properties and getting rich, you don't get rich with rental properties. You get rich from flipping. And then the money that you make from flipping, to preserve your capital, you put it into rentals for your monthly income. And then you put yourself in a position, as you continue to use that strategy, you put yourself in a position where if you want to take a year off or you don't want to fix and flip no more, you in position, you got the rental property, you got the monthly income, and you got the liquid capital. If you're comfortable with 100K at all times or 200.
Now, I don't want you to get lost in a number, but most people will have, when you go to many of these trainings, the reason a lot of these trainings, and I ain't trying to give their business secrets away, try to get you 100K in credit cards that first round of funding, try to get you 50,000, 75,000, because really I know people to this day that they're still working. And another guy, line of credit, he got a line of credit from his bank for 65,000 because his business was doing so well. That's all he uses. He just keeps revolving that same credit line. And so I always want y'all to be understanding of you don't need $7 million to do what you got to do. You don't need $7 million to do what you got to do. Most of you ain't trying to do nothing that big, no disrespect. But I've seen it, you know, and I've seen people try to be like, oh yeah, I need this much money to do ABC. I'd be like, do you? I really be asking them, do you need that much? How much do you need on the dot that you can revolve? All right. Let me see if I got it out here. Hold on a second. Okay. Prime example, I'm gonna show. Oh, let me go here. Let me answer this. Exactly. My biggest challenge was finding an agent to put my bid in, even though it's the law in my state. I'm a trader. We don't meet the ask. So here's the issue with most people that are real estate agents in places like Miami, Atlanta, Houston, Texas, Dallas. They want to look cute and they don't want to piss anybody off. This is why when you interview for realtors, you gotta ask some heavy hitting questions to a degree of like, hey, you don't have to say I'm an investor per se, but you have to say, listen, all my offers are not going to be, they're all going to be under. Like even when you get on the phone, they're all going to be under. One of the biggest lawsuits happening right now in Austin, Texas, is a top producer in the whole state of Texas. Instead of getting their clients 10 million, which is what their house was selling for, plus an additional 50,000, she sat on the bid. She sat on the bid for a whole week. Like didn't tell the clients, kept it to herself, called her cousin up and was like, yo, let's go get this house. They'll take 8 million, which is terrible because that was her clients and she was willing to gift them via her own greed. Now she should be charged. She should be getting in trouble, but Texas ain't no joke. Texas Trek knows where the bread is butter. They want to keep top agents happy. They want to act like, oh, we don't have enough evidence to do what we need to do. That family lost $1.5 million messing with that agent. Yeah, their house sold for $8.5 million, but if you could have got $10 million, and this is your house, you ain't gonna buy another big house like this. This is an elderly couple that she had in there. You want all your money. And so I just tell people, you got to be real careful when you're dealing with these agents. Like, hey, I need you to put offers in. I need you to fight for me. I had an agent fighting so hard for me. There was a house we tried to close on, and I'm glad she was fighting because literally the house flooded 2 weeks before we closed. And then they had to repair it. So then they repaired the house. We come back to the house. They still ain't did what they needed to do. I said, ooh, I would have closed and y'all would have, and this pipe would have busted. It'd have been all on me. Man, my agent was tearing them up. They were like, nah, we rip it down to the studs. We need to see where the work was done, and so you have to be very careful with the agents. But thank you for the super chat. Facts, Eric, I did not know they would do it like that. I know now. They are filing some type of civil suit because the problem is when you it's like a 1-2 punch. Like, I hate to say it this way, but OJ Simpson's the best case. OJ Simpson case is rare, where you go to court, you're not found guilty of murder, and then the family's still allowed to sue you through the nose. Right? So if the police force is found not guilty of something, could they be found negligently homicide of your family member? Yes. Sometimes you civil sue the city. There's a lot of cases where it's hard. If they're not guilty on the front end and Trek doesn't say we found like, hey, this is shady, we found some shady dealings, they can sue, but now they got to reveal who was the snitch. And that's the biggest part. Them white people snitching on each other in Austin, hardcore. And so they got to reveal who the snitch is. And that is where, the rubber meets the road, because that means some people going to fall out with each other. There's going to be some businesses get hurt because somebody knew that she had her cousin buying that house, right? Somebody knew she dropped the ball for a week. You know what I mean? That's why they was in court anyway, but it's coming. She going to have to pay something. Since watching you purchase a home and just inherited my mom's house while everyone's playing around, I'm working overtime. Congratulations, Ashley. Stay focused. It don't take a lot. And I know y'all, Erica, you always say it don't take a lot. But I have a cousin who has 2 rentals that she inherited from her grandparents. Those 2 rentals, she has a job where she only makes like $40K a year. She's not a teacher, but she works in the teacher related field. And she's never made a ton of money. She's got those 2 rentals. And if you see her now, she's so happy. She in her late 40s. She be traveling. She be going on little vacations. She looks so happy now, y'all. I be just trying to tell y'all, it don't take a lot. It just depends on how you view yourself and how you imagine yourself. Right. So I'm gonna play these last three and we're gonna get out of here because I know y'all got time to do stuff. Y'all got stuff y'all gotta do with y'all families. I ain't trying to eat up all your time. Let me go here.
$86 a square foot roughly, so it's not a bad cost either to build. It didn't take too long, I think, for 3 builds. It could have been faster, but me and Oscar were learning, so as it goes, we're about to get that lot. There's one single lot. We're about to get that approved and get that going. We're about to talk to financing already, see how that goes. My line of credit helps me a lot here though. So what I did is I paid $82.5 for the land, and then I financed my own money for the permitting process, all that good stuff. And then I got $60K out of my line of credit, and that's how I started building everything. So I had line of credit and I built all the foundations, I did etc. I got paid back and then etc. So I just been using the same $60K to build these whole things as you get paid back. And now I'm about to refinance them, get my $82K back, get my $60K back, put my $60K back in line of credit, my $82K I'll give it to myself, buy more land and keep using it. Actually, it's funny because the same $100K I spent on my first house, I use it on this house and I'm gonna go do it again. So I've been using the same $100K for, I don't know, I'll probably use the same $100K until my son is old enough to put his own shit, and then he uses his own $100K. But that's how you use your money. Just keep recycling it. We're at 5 months for 3 buildings. We're at $86 a square foot.
Okay, so again, I keep telling y'all, like, that's why they aim at those events to get you 100K in funding, because you can keep, if you have your mind on right, you'll just keep flipping that money. Again, here it again. I keep telling y'all, what are these young boys doing? They hitting them phones. It's Gordon Gekko, greed is good time again. Now, why is he like, hey, DM me, come join us, come have fun, right? And so why is this so important? I want to keep harping on this, is they don't sell like Grant Cardone. Yeah, come to work. It's fun. It's a bunch of young bros driving sports cars in Austin, Texas, bro. We're doing sales. Now, you're going to be bored doing insurance sales on your phone. You're going to be bored doing solar sales. You're going to be bored doing any of these sales. Your job interview at this job is like, what's up, bro? What's up, bro? Do you like work? Yeah, I like work. Like, it's just like, I want you to understand this is where this is going. These young people are just like, if I get on the phone and I make X amount of calls, I get paid, I'll do it. Do you know how hard, like I'm going to say this in a nice way. Men who have the hottest wives usually work in sales. Just point blank. I'm just telling you, I've seen there's some ugly wives. There's always, outliners, but if they can get on the phone and sell every day to strangers, them walking up to random women is not a big deal. I see it every day at real estate events. I see it every day. They be selling all day and all night. You be like, sir, I think you're married. Chill out. Why are you still selling? Why are you still trying to buy somebody? Chill out. But yeah, I just want you to understand, like, this whole ideal that, all the young people are like, no, this is the great separation right now. It's happening hard. And a lot of people just aren't mentally prepared and aren't really gonna, by the time it's so obvious that you need to go get a sales job, or it's so obvious you need to go over here and do this, you're going to be behind the curve. And a lot of people know that. They just don't want to, the outcome in their head is, oh, I don't see myself doing military work. I don't see myself doing CDL. I don't see myself doing sales. And I'm like, well, do you see yourself eating food? Do you see yourself making some money? What do you see yourself as? Because you can coast in America, but you're going to be in the middle of nowhere doing it. You're not going to be in any of the top 5 major cities. You're not going to be in New York. You're not going to be in LA. Right now, 1 in 4 people in New York are on food stamps. New York City, 55% of the city, or 52% of the city is on Medicare, not Medicaid, Medicare. The one is for low income folks. So when people see you're like, I'm in New York, I live in New York, I be want to say, are you on food stamps? You on Medicaid? You ain't doing well. No, you're gonna judge people. No, I'm for real. If you're on food stamps and you're on Medicaid right now, I'm worried about you. That's not winning. I don't care how many championships the Knicks win, which they only gonna win one, they gonna win next year. Y'all know that's true. Everybody gonna got healed up. Ain't nobody winning next year. you got to really ask yourself, is that winning? And so you have to redefine what the image looks like. For me this summer, I'm telling you, my brain's already on the cutoff right now. I'm already talking to people on the phone about something in August. And not even August, like literally the second week of September. I'm already on the phone planning something for September right now with somebody on the phone. And then I'm on the phone, we were planning something for December after the beach trip with our family. And people are like, well, how can you plan so far in advance? I'm like, y'all, if you can't plan 90 days in advance, ooh, your life is in shambles, right? Whenever I talk to adults that got kids and they're like, I don't know what I'm gonna be doing in July. Don't you got kids? Aren't you getting ready for school again? Oh yeah. But other than that, people are living very reactive lives. And so if you imagine yourself rich and relaxed, abundance and alignment, all the woo-woo words I could use today, you have to figure out, what does that look like for you? And how fast can we get to it? What are we doing? What are we doing? Are we putting on fancy clothes for show, or are we really going to do it? Are we really going to have the business we desire, or are we not? Right? Probably towards the fall of this year, we're going to be doing maybe one video a week. And I'm going to tell you right now, I've got so many football games, girls basketball games, events, speaking engagements, different things I'm doing. I'm like, I love YouTube. It's fun, but there are big financial business things I have to do this fall. We got to do those too. So it's all about scheduling. It's about how do you see yourself. My fall is going to be very fun. That's how I see my fall. So you just got to plan for what you're looking for. And we always end on a funny note. And I thought this was funny. I hope this doesn't offend everybody, but I think he cusses a couple times. But again, enjoy your life. The average person is not paying you any attention. I'm just going to say that.
Your feelings. Hold on. I just miss when bitches enjoyed life and was regular. It's all right. Y'all walking around with your nose so high up in the air, it's touching the damn North Pole. The socials is so filtered and edited, like you getting ready to be featured in Vogue magazine. They not checking for you, I promise. I promise. Ain't no paparazzi waiting on you outside. You don't got no star on the Walk of Fame. How they do the thing? Listen, I promise Good Morning America is not getting ready to do no feature on no BBL baddie with a couple followers and green turning skin from that Moss kiosk jewelry. Bring it on down to earth, superstar. Smile. Enjoy life. You regular. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. You don't got nothing to prove. All right? I'm praying for you, though. And I still love you. I just got to keep it real with you. All right? You not no fucking celebrity, baby. Listen, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings.
Okay, now why am I showing this? The internet has made it that anybody can be celebrity, even him. Okay, like even him. The joke is even he's like, I'm not a celebrity, but he is, right? Like a D-list or Z-list, as David Williams, you say Z-list celebrities. All these people have this internet, and they want you to think, man, I'm the biggest, the baddest, the whatever. And I'm like, hey. You can just be yourself. Unless you're using these platforms to sell something, make money. Like just relax. Relax. People are like, why you ain't posting on your Instagram? You just post stories. You don't post no posts. I'm like, I'm chilling. I'm relaxed. I was like, we have staff that's going to post on the other 2 pages that we're getting ready to have out. But it's not necessary for the business to make money for me anymore. Now, I have always taught y'all on Digital Liberty Warriors inside the digital classes. Hey, post as much as you feel comfortable, once a week, whatever, twice a week. There's several of my students 4 of them, in fact, that make $50K a month, and they post on Instagram religiously. I'm at a season of life. I ain't got to do all that. We just paid this company to do our leads. The phone already has, I think, 627 leads. The poor 2 people we have on staff doing the phone calls, I have not even got to help them this week. And I just want you to understand, like, when people sit out here and tell you, like, oh, no, you got to be posting all day and all night, you don't have to do that. I worked myself up into this kind of everyday motion because I was shadow banned on YouTube. I still am. It's okay. At the end of the day, this isn't my only way to make money, and YouTube can't stop me. Once you learn the rules of the game, once you know it's off your email list, it's like I can go hop and do 10 podcasts. I'm going to do like 2 this week coming up. I can continuously bring people to me, and people can continuously purchase things from me from various avenues. You don't have to be out here every day and every night. Now, am I gonna show y'all some videos from my horseback riding trip in Canada? Yes, I am. Am I gonna show you me fishing in Alaska and Belize? Yes, I am. I'm gonna stun a little bit, just a little bit. But it's because I realize I cannot instruct you into being better. I have to inspire. Well, what is your look like? Are you always in office? No, I'm not. This is like literally the last couple of days. Like, I'm really just walking the staff through. Don't call me unless it's an emergency. Unless the plumber falls down at the install site. Why are you calling me? Is it paid? Can I see it and go high level? Can I just log in and see what y'all did? Great. We don't need to talk. Not all day and all night. I don't need to sit on top of your back. That's the point of you having a remote job. So I'm not sitting on top of your back. We get in the business meeting, 30 minutes. Let's go. Get out. Bye. These are objectives for the week. Have a great week. That's it. Y'all be trying to figure out why people quit these jobs on y'all because y'all be sitting on top of their neck all day and all night. I don't need to. You don't gotta be like that. It's okay. All right. So, anyways, let me close it out. I'm a teacher too. I keep what you said about only need a couple rentals for sure. I want to leave LA and move to Maryland. I mean, you can always start by doing a month there. I mean, listen, do you want to be in Maryland when it's snowing and you driving? That part. You need to go when it's snowing one time. Man, I damn near got things filled out to the end of 27. Man, come on, you already know. You already know we got things done for next year too. But at the end of the day, when you talk to the average person and you start saying, yeah, we're going to go to Thailand in the spring with the Black Lawyers Association in January, they're looking at you like, in January of next year? You got that far planned out? You're like, yeah. YouTube feeds you foolishness every day. That's his job. My friend sent me this video earlier, said, it's okay, you aren't a baddie. Let me say something. This is not ugly. This is just a commentary. Most women are okay looking. Do you come across women and you're like, God, oh my God, she's so beautiful. She's amazing. Yes. But most women are okay. Same with most men. Most men are okay. They're all right. Nothing that you like, oh my God, I just saw Halle Berry down the street. The reason a 10 is such a rare thing is because it is rare. This ain't the 1990s where everybody eating good food and look really good. This is 2000s where they got a lot of GMO food. They eating the GMO foods. It's doing something to them. But I just want you to understand, like, it's rare air. There's a reason it's the top 20%. There's a reason it's the top 1%. It's a reason. Because you got to do a little bit more. You got to look a little bit better. I had a friend, we would go out to the club. She was 6 foot tall. She hated her height. She was Black and Asian. Baby, do you know how many times we got in the club and got drinks off her? And she over there telling me, I'm just so tall. I can't find no tall man. We'd be like, girl, smile, hush. Get your rump to this door and smile and hush so we can all get in. What are you doing? It's rare because it's rare. Okay. Right? People will send me hundreds of videos, 100 of content creators. I'm like, y'all, I can't keep up with all these people. And it's never my desire to keep up with all these people. I'm worried full time about what's in my life. What can I do? What can I move forward? We are in a massive separation moment. It is up to us at this point to take over for the Gen X. I'm not talking bad about Gen X. Gen X is 45 to 60 years old. They tired. It's okay. They tired. We know Gen X is exhausted, and I'm not mad at them. Okay? I get it. They like, Erica, what more do you want us to do? We're in a massive change. Louis Farrakhan's wife just died. She was 90 years old. How long you want these people out here talking on the microphone? Dr. Clyde Addison's in his 80s, I know. How long you want them out here? It's a changing of the guard going on. Are y'all not paying attention? It's a changing of the guard happening. Are you not seeing what's happening? Do you not see Tiger Woods up here trying to set up a clothing store for his children? Why is he doing that? It's a changing of the guard. And many of y'all y'all not paying attention, or you're not ready. One of the two is happening. But it's a changing of the guard going on. And I don't know if you're not seeing it. I don't know if you see how these areas are changing, where events are happening, things are happening. I don't think y'all understand. Let me play this as my last clip and I'm gonna get out of here. I'm sorry. Y'all know I get excited. I see a clip. I really won't say it. Listen, Gen X out here taking care of teenagers, taking care of their parents. The boomers didn't save no money. They blew it. They cutting up. And then they looking at y'all like, well, y'all better take care of me. Say what? I got family members right now sitting on 200 acres. And they're like, Erica, what we going to do? What we going to do? You're 79 years old. I don't know what you about to do other than be at this house and walking around and taking care of these plants. But what I'm going to do is when you give me this piece of land in this corner, I'm going to do A, B, C, F, G. I don't know what you gonna do, but I know what I'm gonna do. Sometimes I have to talk to my family members like that. Like, I don't know what you're doing now. Massive. Listen, massive separation happening. I have a friend that's 6 foot beautiful. I put her to work. Listen, you got one job, my friend, to smile and wear the V-cut neck stuff. Now, why you out here looking sad? Every man short. I don't care. You better smile, girl. Yeah, Gen X is busy. I feel that. But here we go. I'm going to play this. The last one is Grant Cardone. I'm going to get on out of here.
I was sitting in a room, okay? If I was sitting in a room and a guy next to me is making 10 million and I have the ability to deliver the same exact product, I would have to ask myself, how can he do that and I can't? Well, the only way I can make that up is with a bunch of excuses, okay? I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm tired. A bunch of you guys are tired. I can hear it. I can see it in your face. You're tired. Could barely make it here, okay? I don't have enough energy. I'm sick. I don't have any time. Oh my God, I have not enough time. I'm married. Here you go. Here's a new one. Here's the new. Blame it on your wife. She ain't here. I'm married. Well, then why'd you get married if it was going to be a negative? Okay. How about this? Let's blame it on kids. My kids are the reason, okay? Or I'm black. I'm brown, I'm too young, I'm too old. Like, come up with your excuses, folks. I'm handicapped, I can't focus, I'm an introvert, I'm an extrovert, I got ADD, ADHD, bipolar. What else you got? How many freaking mental illnesses do you need to make to just simply say, I have excuses? If I was sitting in a room.
That's his most fire clip of the year. Do you know how many times I get on phone with people, Erica, I be like, baby, what else? Pick a struggle. We can't be tired, overweight, broke, we can't do them all at one time. Mr. Pretentious said this really great thing. It was hilarious. He was like, Lizzo, you can't call Lizzo a bitch and you can't call her a fat bitch. And I know, I'm sorry for all the cussing. But that's the thing. Usually bigger women are very jolly. I mean, or they're Jill Scott. Jill Scott she be bipolar. Even Adele, if y'all remember when Adele came out, Adele was an amazing singer. People was giving Adele a hard time. I'm like, everybody ain't gonna be a toothpick, but pick a struggle. You can't have all the struggles. You know, Lizzo can't be mad that she's big and then be mean and do it. Like, you can't do them all. Pick one or two, right? This is why the top 3 always will forever be health, wealth, relationships. And it's just too easy. Because relationships, everybody always blames everybody else. Their parents are toxic. Everybody they know is toxic. It'll all be some excuse, right? Money and health are 2 areas where you have I would say 80% responsibility and ability to change. I remember this guy wrote a book and he was saying, if women only knew 80% of the power was being like, you can control the skinny part, just don't have a bunch of debt and be skinny. He's like, men pick all kind of women. They find whatever they want when they want it. Like, just don't be overweight and don't be in massive debt. So listen, if you want to be in massive debt, girl, you got to go make some money. You got to pick a struggle. You can't pick them all. That's why, like, people are like, man, you do a lot of supplements. I can't be exhausted telling you to go out here and get it and tell my nephews and little cousins to get up and go exercise and do stuff. And I ain't even doing it. You got to attempt or try. Even with the gardening, now I done got so many daggone tomatoes. I'm coming up with recipes. We done had a tomato bisque soup. We done had a lobster bisque soup. We done had, all kind of stuff. We're making stuff for the Mediterranean diet because you have to figure out how to use these veggies, right? So I just want y'all to understand, okay? Pick a struggle. If you're tired, go get some blood work done. It's $49 to $99, depending on where you go for your health labs. Get the blood work done. Figure out what you can do to adjust. But you can't have all the struggles, right? If you're going to hit me with I'm a black man in America, I'm going to hit you with What's your trade in? What's your degree in? Where have you moved? Have you tried this? Have you tried that? If you tried, I'm the black woman in America, I'm gonna do the same thing. Sis, you got dreadlocks that smell. Get that out your head. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna hit you with every reasonable comeback, and it's not respectability politics. It's just the fact that if you want to be in a office with majority white people and have a job, there is going to be some concessions. Whatever you do, if you work in sales, you work at home, you work remote, there's going to be some type of concessions. No matter man or woman you pick. Man, you know, I wish I was with a 6'7" brother, but my man's 5'9". Guess what? The majority of black men are 5'9". I'm so sorry. Welcome to America. You want to go over Africa and find some 6 foot tall ones, go ahead and do it. But the majority of men in America are 5'9" and under. Okay. With the boots on. Okay. They putting the boots on to get 5'10". Okay. So I just want you to understand, like, pick a struggle. Don't pick them all. But the most important part is how you see yourself, and you can change your self-image and your self-identity in about 90 days. Now, if people are going to say 30 days, people are going to say 40 days. I'm going to say 90 because it's so easy to get back into old habits. We had a family member got gastric bypass surgery, and she wouldn't throw away the clothes. And it wasn't till we got into her house and said, listen, here's $1,000. We want to take you shopping. And it was like 3 different family members had $1,000. But you have to let go of these old clothes. You basically have a nightgown t-shirt on, and it's embarrassing us. Take this shit off. You've lost 120 pounds. These clothes are your old identity. You can let them go. Y'all don't know how hard it was for this person to let these clothes go. And we're sitting here with cash money. I'm talking about hundreds in cash. We will take you shopping right now to get a new wardrobe. Y'all ever seen leggings sag? You ever seen leggings that's supposed to be tight on somebody and they sagging? We have a family member in our family that had gastric with sagging leggings on. We're like, girl, we will buy the clothes. Let it go. But it's important to realize they have to see themselves as this new person. Some of the ways is clothes. Some of the way is what you listen to. Some of it is the people you're around. The power of average can bring you up or bring you down. If all your friends dress hoodie and casual, you will do the same. If all your friends start dressing in suits and ties, you will do the same. The self-identity starts with you. 90% of people could be wealthier than they ever dreamed if they just believed in themselves. Listen, I mean, I'm telling you, we were like, ma'am, please let it go. We threw out like 7 bags of clothes. Okay, we threw a lot of clothes. And this is a very smart family member. That's the craziest part. It worked. Very smart person. And we're just like, let it go. That shirt looks like a nightgown. Why are you going out the house in that? Because they haven't reconciled up here. I'm no longer a big girl. I'm a big woman. I'm a less big woman now. I don't need these items. I can put on new clothes and they fit and look different. Right? So facts, I don't get this height bias and I'm over 6 feet. People have fetishes. People have fetishes and people have fantasies. And I always also tell people this. Sometimes people will say, I haven't found my person that has A, B, C, D, F, G. And the longer the list, whether it's a man or a woman, I realize that person just wants to protect themselves from being hurt. If I talk to a woman and she's talking about the man got to have this, and she just keeps going. I'm talking about 20 things on the list. I'm like, sis, who hurt you? Some man hurt you. It's okay. If I hear a man and he start talking about she better do this, and he keep going on, I'm like, brother, you don't want a woman. That's okay. Go get a dog. It's all good. Have a great day. You know what I'm saying? Just go on about your day. Because sometimes people are doing that as a counterbalance. He better be all these things. Why? Who are you? You Jesse that works as an HR person. Girl, go sit down somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop it. So anyways, you guys are blessed. Have a great weekend. Happy 4th of July. Happy 250 years to America. America always. Pew, pew, pew. America, America, America. And happy fireworks. And please keep all your 10 fingers and toes this weekend. You guys have a blessed day.
Hi, I'm Brandy Williams, founder of Williams Accounting and Tax Services in McDonough, Georgia. We're a full-service accounting firm proudly serving clients nationwide, including military families and U.S. expats. With over 20 years of experience as an IRS enrolled agent, we've got you covered from past tax returns to business services and strategic tax planning. Visit WilliamsActTax.com. Let's get connected and take your finances to the next level.